Good afternoon, everybody. So my name is Dennis, and I'm head of mobile development at Apollon Apps company. And today we'll be speaking about self-organizing team as a driving force for successful products and successful development of companies. Well, during this conference, a lot has been spoken about technologies, education, startups, and so on and so forth, but I didn't hear much about people who really create all these startups, who really educate other persons, and so on and so forth. So basically, I want to start about our company, who we are and who I am. So we are a company of 100 people, and we create mobile applications for iOS, Android, Google Play, and Amazon markets. So on your screen, you see our top applications, so Weather app, Translator app, and Pimp Your Screen application. What do you think is the most common thing about all these applications? These applications are created by people. So people are a key value of our company. But before we come to people, we need to understand that each person is not a team yet. And my duty as a head of mobile development and as a kind of agile coach, I need to facilitate people, make productive teams. But what is team? Team usually can be associated with a group of people that have different skills, different tasks, that work together on a common project, service, goal, and they mix their functions and provide mutual response for each other to achieve these goals. But do you think each group can be a team? Well, I think not. In this case, I think that we need to review the team stage development provided by Bruce Tuckman. This is a person that spent more than 40 years of his work experimenting with teams, discovering what is a driving force for team to develop. And finally, he introduced 4, or in some cases 5-stage model for the teams to progress. So the first stage is forming. So this is the moment when people are gathered together and for implementing some kind of tasks, goals and services, but they are a bit cautious and a bit wondering what would happen next. And they behave and invest not very much in the team development, as they want to be in team rather than out, and then want to behave correctly. And in this stage, each person and the team, it lacks identity, and members need to be really guided and directed towards other activities. So this stage is pretty kind of small, but team moves to another stage, storming. Well, storming is the place and the time when first conflicts occur. So people try to find their identity. They try to find things that would move them back to their comfort zone. And their work is not as productive as they more struggling than cooperating. And development in this case suffers as well, as these people cannot be productive all the time. And lucky you are if this team has some productive people who really care about productivity, achieving goals. In many cases, team stops its existing at this very stage, as it moves down and cannot just get back to the development stage again. So this stage, this team, this kind of group needs coaching and facilitation. And lucky you are if your team and your environment that you are working in moves to another stage, which is norming. During this stage, we see that more agreement and consensus is achieved within team members, and teams start having their goals and start establishing their relations in a more productive way. So they try to communicate with each other more productively, and they try to share roles and responsibility. So this is the most significant stage within the group development and within the team development. And this is the very stage where a group becomes a team. But this is not the final stage and not the kind of paramount and the climax point of the group development. We move to another one, performing stage. Here, team performs as integrity. It already has common goals, high moral, high productivity. It easily shifts between tasks with each other, and the values of each person are really taken for granted. So this is the really good moment if your team, any team, we are speaking about kind of technology team, group in the school, at the university. So this is not about the technology, this is about people. And this very stage shows how the team is really focused on agreement, on achieving really good goals, really challenges that you as a team leader or kind of the, the owner of the startup kind of wants to give them. But this is not the very final stage. There is one more stage, a during stage, where team starts to get satisfaction from what they do. And this is really the purpose, and this is really the aim of the effective team. So you see that the effective team has some mission, and this mission is really understandable. Communication in the team is really open and direct. So they agree on organizational structure of their teams, and they perform greater than each part separately. So if you are a team member or team leader or owner of the business, you should really strive for achieving this goal. You see that team members are available and they help. The sense of helpfulness at this stage is very, very high. And what can't be done by one person could be done by a team. So they do not criticize openly each other. Of course, in my kind of experience, I had some moments when people just came to me and they say, "Oh, Dennis, so this person does not fulfill its task. Okay, so please do something, or we'll do that ourselves, because we are an organism that we integrate with each other." And it helps, but no open criticism as we observed that, for example, at the norming or storming stage. And identification is something unique that team possesses already, and you should develop this as well. What is more important is that team clearly understands its objectives and it moves forward. But this is about effective teams. How about self-organizing teams? Do you think that they are the same? Well, I don't think so, and I'll tell you a story. An evolutionary biologist, William Meyer, tried to check the productivity. And he selected chickens, because you know that it's easy to check productivity with chickens. You just select, you just count eggs they produce. He put one group and left it for 6 generations. And he took another group and selected only most productive chickens. You can call them kind of super chickens. And each generation, he selected only 3 most productive super chickens. So 6 generations passed, and what we see? The first group, which developed naturally, has had good results. They were average team with good further, and the egg production increased dramatically with these 6 generations. And what we see with the second team? All but 3 were dead. Because all these 3 chickens, super chickens, pecked others to death. So you see that all the teams, both teams were productive, but the second one, which was self-organized, produced more results at the end. And here we come to the self-organized team. You see some examples and some definitions of this team, which are kind of very important for me as a team leader, as a head of mobile development. So group at this stage possess high level of authority, and this authority to take decisions and to make decisions. Team tries to accomplish all this stuff at their best, and it's not directed. So this is a very important thing and a very important feature of self-organized team, which could bring really good results and help you success products. And this group works in an interdependent environment, and this brings another way to achieve best goals in their life, in their cycle of development. But don't you think that self-organized teams are so autonomous? I think that there should be 1 or 2 or 3 persons behind the curtains that would facilitate this. So, who is in charge of creating and organizing and supporting these teams? First of all, organization itself. So, it doesn't mean if you are working in the startup environment or well-organized company. So the first level is organization level, where the company should create certain culture to support these teams, for them to facilitate. Infrastructure is also important to make people feel safe in the environment and provide them with all the details, with all the stuff that they want. Training sessions, training programs are also important if you want to facilitate the teams that I have been speaking about. And of course, incentive system. So people should know what they work for, what is their motivation, and what is their ultimate goal. In our company, we try to follow all these steps and create incentive system and incentive bonuses system for teams that perform best. But organization is not the one that would be in charge of creating these effective and self-organized teams. So who's next? Senior manager. Senior management is always an important factor in creating and developing these kind of teams and infrastructure and all that. The main thing that I see in senior management is so that they don't get in the way of creating teams. So please tell them that you know what to do, if you know what to do, and don't let them interrupt you. Vice versa, please ask them for creative support and for the supportive atmosphere that should be created within the organization and that should be put from above to the lower levels of your company. And the most important thing for the senior management is to allow team to fail before it delivers. Some of managers do not know and they cannot understand that once failed, team would kind of get some results from this failure and will not repeat this and will deliver as expected in the future. And there is one more person that is in charge of creating this kind of creative and effective team, self-organized team. Depending on methodologies and the sphere, it can be called team leader, servant leader, or Scrum Master if you were speaking about Agile and Scrum methodologies. So this person is really important for close collaboration with the team. So this is the person that should create the environment at the lower level and should follow all the steps to effectively develop team. His actions will help him to improve collaboration within team, between teams and create supporting atmosphere. One of the features is to remove the impediments that could fall on the heads of the team. So if you are a team leader, you need to take into account all the things that could go wrong. Because if they can go wrong, they will go wrong. And of course, coaching. Coaching is relatively a new sphere of training teams. And in recent days, the term coaching is very, very important. And what is more important even that someone does not many people know the true essence of this word, coaching. That is why I think that if you're a real team leader, you need to coach in the correct way. But as a team leader, how will you see that you created effective and self-organized team? So here I put some essentials of the teams, of the team, and their kind of stuff that should be visible once you see the progress of the team. So first, competency. Individuals who are very competent about their jobs, they are very confident, and there is no need to direct them from above. So this is the very first level that you should take into account if you are a team leader or a group member. So increase your competency to work in that environment. Then collaboration. So team is encouraged through their own norms and traditions. They work out their own ground rules specific for their own needs. And once they are done, they can get fruits from it. Motivation is another factor that is the key to success of creating successful products and completing challenging tasks. When team members are focused and interested in their works, this brings to successful results. And what is more important, that new ideas are forthcoming from them. For example, in our company, when we create products, or we have a kind of business analyst that provides us a kind of initial requirements. But as the team improves, new ideas, product features are coming really from the team. Trust and respect. Of course, team members should trust and respect each other because they believe in collective code and ownership, and they really want and they are ready to go an extra mile to help each other to resolve tasks, even though it's not their responsibility. And of course, continuity. The team is working together for a reasonable duration, and continuity is essential for the team because it's a live organism, and you as a team leader or product owner, you need to see this as the developing one. And lucky you are if this team will only need based coaching in the long term. So these are the key features that effective and self-organized team should possess, and you as a leader, as a team leader or Scrum Master, should kind of put checkboxes in. So finally, what do we have? Teams are not static. We should take it, and they change over time. Building a self-organizing team is an ongoing process. As soon as you start the team, you will need to move and move and move until you end project, or for some purposes the company kind of stops existing. Team managers, senior management staff and organizations should be in charge of all the transformations within company. Not only just team member or team leader, all company. The longer team stays and works together, the more cohesive it becomes. So please that into account. And of course, successful teams would drive your product to success. As you've created as a team leader, you created this atmosphere, you created this environment, and believe me, this works. So I've been working for IT for 9 years, and I've seen the progress from the groups that behaved as teams to the real teams that really drive product as a success. Thank you.